Hi friends, it's your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about Stranger Things, Season 3, Episode 2, The Mall Rats. And at this point we pick it up with, I'm going to give myself a mnemonic here, Joyce Hopper Mayer. Okay, so Hopper is extremely excited because his over-the-top, hey, Mike Wheeler, your grandma's dying. And then he just scares the life out of him. He's like, don't, you're dating my daughter, but you're not giving me respect. And if you, come around here, and if you, keep, being with 11, and not respecting me, you're gonna catch heck, right? Like just scares him real bad, right? And so he goes to Joyce and he tells Joyce, oh, and she's like, how did your talk with 11 and Mike Wheeler go, right? And he's like, yeah, it went great. And he's like all excited because he thinks what he's done has worked. Now it has not worked. He's really kicked the can, right? He's just kind of kicked the can down the line, and this isn't good what he's done, right? But he's excited, and so he goes to talk to Joyce, and Joyce actually thinks that he has actually listened to her, right? But he didn't listen to her. But he's really excited, and so then he gets excited and he asks Joyce to go out and celebrate, right? And she's like, are we dating, right? And like she's hesitant because Bob Newby's dead, right? And she doesn't want to, like, she feels bad about Bob Newby being dead. She doesn't know about, their relationship is really an odd relationship, and she just doesn't know, right? So she's like, yeah, well, let's go out to Enzo's together. But it's not a date, right? Like, and he's like, yeah, it's not a date. We'll just go together, right? But he's super excited. So Hopper's on top of the world, okay? So then Joyce, breaks with, they go their separate ways. And Joyce sees these magnets falling off. So the magnets are falling off her fridge. They're also falling off at work, right? These magnets aren't working. And she's like, this is weird, right? Now, all the major characters, in Hawkins, Indiana, and Stranger Things are now super sus. They're like super skeptical of anything that's strange. And they have good reason to. They know they live on a hellmouth. Like, they're very aware that a lot of weird stuff is going down. And Joyce is really smart. So she's like, I got to figure this out. So who does she go to? She goes to Scott Clark, right? Now, who's that? He is the science teacher. So he is the science teacher. And she goes to him and she's like, hey, these magnets are, falling off. What's going on? And he's like, well, it's hard to tell, but, and she's like, well, what would demagnetize something? He's like, well, you would need another magnet, like you would need an electrical device, and it would have to be magnetized, but in reverse, right? He says, but there's nothing like that in Hawkins. It would cost millions of dollars because it would be so large, right? So this isn't something you need to worry about. It's odd, but you don't really need to worry about it. So she's like, she's like, I don't know, right? But at that point, she gets caught up in this, and she actually misses the date that she had set up with Hopper. And so he's there, and he has a really, really bad experience, right? Now, and he reacts very poorly. Now, why does he react poorly? Well, there is a good reason. The reason he reacts so poorly is because he had a terrible day. And we get to see that in the show. So what gave him a terrible day? Well, the mayor, all right? So the mayor, who is played by the guy who's like As You Wish in The Princess Bride, the Dread Pirate Roberts, I think that was the correct name, right? But he's a famous 80s actor, and Stranger Things has done a lot to bring back these famous, really iconic 80s actors, right? So they bring him back, and he plays the mayor. And what's really interesting is Jim Hopper has to go to the mayor's headquarters, and he has to send away these protesters, right? And the mayor's like, get rid of these protesters. And Jim Hopper's like, they're protesting you. They have a right to protest. Like, it's not, you can't stop them from protesting. And he's like, I'm not just gonna sit here and let these guys, hassle me, right? So they really have it out, and this is a really, really interesting back and forth um, between the two of them. And the reason why is these guys, they both mean business. You're dealing with two dudes who have been around the block, right? They don't get pushed around. If there's if a bully is knocking somebody's books out of their hand, these two are more likely to be knocking the books out of their hand. They don't get their books knocked out of their hands, right? Like, both these two are major players, right? And so the mayor is like, you need to do what I'm saying, because because I'm the mayor and you're the sheriff, right? And Jim Hopper's like, I'm the sheriff, right? But I know you, right? And I know, your white powder problems, and I know that you've been cheating on your wife. And, so if you're going to push back on me, I'll push back on you. So the two of these guys have it out, right? And the reality is, but at the end of the day, Jim Hopper does clear out the protesters, right? Because they're getting rowdy, right? But he feels really bad about it. So at this point, and then also he just misses this Russian enforcer who is dealing with the mayor. So the mayor so we don't know this yet, but the mayor is taking payoffs from these Russians who have built this facility under Starcourt Mall, right? And so he just misses this enforcer, but we're starting to see, just the shape of things in Hawkins, Indiana. We also get another scene with the old woman and the rat, right? Like, and Nancy Wheeler kind of, investigating this rat, this rat infestation problem in Hawkins, right? And so we'll cut it off there, and we'll pick it up later. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion, nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.